Happy New Year. It's January 1st. My family has requested filet mignon. So we're going with kind of the simple way, but it will be delicious nonetheless. We're going kind of with the classic here. These are just simple Chuck Angus fillets that I had cut at Publix. Publix is a really good provider of meat. So nothing super fancy. These are 7 to 8 ounces each. And if you look at them, I'll put my hand down here. They're not quite as thick as I would have thought they would be. And as quite as thick as I would normally prepare them. So I'm going to have to be cognizant of that while I smoke them and make sure I don't overcook them. We're going to go with the classic presentation. I have seasoned these with my all-purpose seasoning, which is primarily salt, pepper, and garlic. And then I've added a little bit of Montreal seasoning, which is a great classic go-to. I'll sear these and then we'll cook them in the smoker. I've got the smoker heating up. We're going to leave these out at room temperature for about 45 to 50 minutes to come up a little bit in their temperature, and then we'll start to cooking. All right, so for these fillets, it's time for the sear. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I've got this Wagyu beef tallow, and I've got plenty of it right here, and I'm going to put it in here. Now, I've got this heated to about 400 degrees. You want to be careful you don't get it too hot because you don't want that beef tallow or whatever oil you're using, you don't want it to burn. And this should be just perfect. I'm going to sear the meat in this for about 2 minutes on each side. All right, here we go. We're going to do about 2 minutes on each side. We're going to get a nice sear on these suckers. As you see, I've got my really, really big cast iron pan here. And we're going to sear these for about 2 minutes. Give them plenty of space. Now with fillets, you need to have some oil. I guess with most cuts, if you're doing a strip or a ribeye, you don't necessarily have to have the oil because there's enough fat from the steak to give it a good sear. But with fillets, I have learned over the years, even with a good cast iron skillet, you still need just a little bit of oil. And so that's why I got the beef tallow, the Wagyu beef tallow. That way it keeps that meaty flavor. All right, now it's time to put them on. Now I'm getting out of my comfort zone. Normally what I do with traditional fillets, to do them simple and easy, I sear them in the cast iron, and then I put them on my grill over there on indirect heat. But I feel like I've got to use my smoker for a fillet, for really anything I cook. So I've been kind of experimenting. What's the right temperature for this smoker to get it to the...
Hey y'all, Happy New Year!
This is Rena, and this is Gracie. Gracie's my daughter, Rena's her good friend, and she's in from Atlanta, and we're doing these great fillets. So here's what I'm going to do. I've got this cooked. I've set the smoker on 425 degrees. As I mentioned, these fillets aren't as thick as I expected. I'm thinking 13 minutes. So in just a minute, I'll check it at about 13 minutes. The way I've cooked fillets for so long, I don't like having to stick a thermometer in them because I've gotten where I know exactly how long they'll cook. And so that's why I'm trying to get everything fine-tuned with this smoker. But I'm gonna go ahead and put them on here, and I'm gonna check the temperature in about 13 minutes. All right, I cooked these fillets for about 15 minutes. I brought them up to about 128 to 130 degrees. They'll do another 5 degrees once you let them rest. You've got to let them rest for at least 5 minutes. These have been resting for about 7 to 8 minutes. And as you see here, these are a good medium. Now, I'm with a crowd that likes medium. If we were a crowd that wanted medium rare, I'd probably cook them to 125, maybe a little less, and then took them off the grill. I've been doing these fillets for a long, long time, but let's see how this batch turned out. We're in for a treat tonight.